They say your life can change in an instant. I've been buying lottery tickets for more than 25 years. Honestly, I never expected to win the big one. Everyone knows the odds are astronomically small. Still, something always compelled me to buy a couple of those damn things every week. A few times I matched 3 numbers and won a small payout. Even that triggered a mild euphoria in my brain. Look at me. I'm a winner. Once, I even managed to get 4 out of 6, and possibly made up for all of the cash I'd wasted over the years trying to win. Is breaking even any justification for playing, though? No, definitely not. But there's a gambling spirit in most of us. We hope fate will tip the scales of cosmic justice and smile favorably upon us. We try to beat those long odds of probability. The thrill of a challenge sucks us in because we think, what if I was that guy? Trying to strike it rich with a stubby number 2 pencil and a dotted up lotto sheet. In the back of my mind, I knew some unsuspecting loser with a handful of dollars would get lucky. All of a sudden, it was me that won the big jackpot. It didn't register at first. How ironic that I'd been trying to do something for a quarter century, and when it actually happened, I wasn't ready for it. Bells and whistles went off. My face was all over the news. Friends I never expected to ever encounter again came out of the woodwork to congratulate me. They went out of their way to remind me just how important I was to them. The good luck just kept pouring in. My new entourage had suggestions on what I should do with my money. Either that, or they had their brazen hands out to lighten the burden. Uncle Sam was right there in front to take his cut first. Truthfully, I wasn't surprised by any of it. It's human nature for the parasites to go for fresh blood. I just stepped back and marveled at the opportunistic feeding frenzy my life had become. It was around this time that I started noticing odd things out of the corner of my eye. Inanimate objects appeared to be moving or shifting slightly in my presence. I thought it was hallucinations induced by the stress of a life-changing experience. I wasn't sleeping well. I was drinking way too much. Does the human body differentiate between boozing excessively for sadness or for celebration? I doubt it matters that much to the liver. I hoped that the strange visions would end when I stopped partying so hard. Not surprising, my very transparent ex-wife wanted to reconcile as soon as she heard. My coworkers started treating me differently too. It was as if they expected me to pack up my things and quit my job the moment the lottery commission handed me an oversized novelty check. I must admit, I considered it. Who needs the hassle of micromanagers and TPS reports when you are financially taken care of for life? I certainly didn't enjoy the daily aggravation of being a working stiff, but I wanted to maintain the illusion of still being a regular guy. Subconsciously, I realized I needed a justification to get out of bed. Plus, going through the motions at work prevented me from blowing massive piles of cash on exotic Italian sports cars that I had no business driving around. After a few months, things in my life leveled out a bit. I settled down. I assumed I'd successfully navigated the perilous adjustment period of becoming instantly loaded. I still went to work every day. I'd stopped drinking. I'd even managed to cut the freeloaders and parasites out of my life. But something still wasn't right. The unexplained movement in my peripheral vision was still there, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. The instances were becoming more frequent, and I didn't know how to admit to a doctor that I had issues of that sort. Frankly, I was scared they might commit me if I divulged that I was seeing things. That morning, I watched in horror as my anti-slip shower mat slid away as I was about to step on it. I would have face-planted if I hadn't been paying attention to the floor. The only explanation I could offer was that a breeze caused from opening the shower door blew it out from under my feet. That didn't seem too likely, but I was grasping at straws. I was desperate to find a logical explanation for the endless wave of unexplainable events. Next, a heavy storage shelf in my garage almost fell on me as I walked by. It would have flattened me if I hadn't seen it coming first and intervened. Somehow, I managed to tip it back upright. I couldn't even blame it on my weight shaking the floor. The garage is built on a thick concrete slab. There's no way a person walking past would cause the shelf to tip over as it did. I know that now. At the time, I made some pathetic excuse about piling too many heavy things on the top shelf. Admittedly, it really is top-heavy, but not enough to be unstable. I was certain of that. After weeks of relentlessness and freeloader paranoia, I suspected everything and everyone. I imagined diabolical plots against me, most of which were probably nothing. How inanimate objects could conspire against me, I had no idea, but the circumstantial evidence was mounting. I realized the whole thing probably seemed unhinged to an outsider, but I couldn't let go of the idea of a cosmic conspiracy. It was all starting to make sense. The same unknown forces which temporarily unbalanced the scales in my favor seemed to be trying to reverse my lucky streak. Perhaps it wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe no human being is supposed to have that much good luck and fortune in their lifetime. If the cosmos was trying to undo my lottery win or make me pay some form of karmic restitution, it made sense for my shower mat to zip across the floor. It was like a sinister force was waiting around every corner to trip me and equalize the situation. Every time I reminded myself how stark raving mad my retaliatory fate theory sounded, I reflected on the sad tale of a dozen other lottery winners in the news. None of them managed to live happily ever after. My internet search was filled with appalling examples of others who got lucky temporarily and then had a mysterious and rapid reversal of fortune. They would die of a heart attack, lose their spouse, or just squander all their money away on strippers and drugs. The sheer number of rags to riches and then rapidly back to rags stories I found was incredibly high. It seemed far too often to be coincidental. I did some research on probability ratios. There had to be a reason for the universal failure rate and financial ruin of all my lottery-winning peers. My hypothesis was that others who had experienced the same instant wealth also encountered the unexplained movement phenomenon. Just like me, I believe they quickly realized what was going on, but didn't dare tell anyone out of fear. They knew they were caught in a curse and sought to deliberately squander their monetary windfall, to cast it off before it killed them. As if to reinforce my epiphany, a massive chandelier in my new mansion fell and missed me by inches. They were determined to get me. I knew eventually something would be successful. The gods didn't like showing favoritism in matters of fate and chance. If I didn't squander my wealth soon, I'd be in the ground. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but I systematically burned through huge piles of my cash and purchases in record time. As expected, the random attempts by fate to kill me lessened in frequency, and severity. I had numerous friends and family members pull me aside and try to talk some sense into me. I just smiled each time and offered them a bottle of $1,000 champagne. For once, I knew they meant well. They were sincerely trying to help me stop wasting all of my money. They had no idea that lottery winners like me are under constant attack by inanimate objects. I certainly couldn't tell anyone I knew the truth. No one would believe it. I just feigned ignorance and smiled for the cameras. The press has a love affair with losers winning big and winners losing big. After a whirlwind marathon of wasting my entire fortune, I'm safe now. The attacks have stopped, and I've learned my lesson. It's not so good to have fate smile upon you. There's an ugly price to pay. I'm glad I kept to my job. I'm only sharing this dark truth with open-minded strangers like you to spare you the heightened danger you unknowingly place yourselves in. Please don't reveal this secret, and for heaven's sake, don't ever buy a lottery ticket. You'll join a long line of regular Joes who crash and burn under the pressure. I know the truth, and now you do too. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments below, and tell me what you thought of this narration. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for updates, and if you'd like to get early videos, shoutouts, and much more, I'd appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. It's a place where you can help support my channel while getting awesome rewards in the process, and every pledge helps out a ton, no matter the size. So if you'd like to see all the rewards I offer and consider becoming a patron, it'd mean a ton to me if you'd click the link in the description and just check it out. And don't forget to show some love to the amazingly talented authors who make these narrations possible. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.